Alright guys, what's going on? It's another video of Foxy Outdoors, and today, well, it was like last week, but my bad. It always takes me forever to get my videos going, but we're going to get them did somehow or another. So, today we're going to be doing a deer hunting video. I'm loud. Doing a deer hunting video in Meriwether County. So what we're hunting here, I've hunted this a couple hunts. My first hunt I ever hunting here was like the second weekend of the second week after opening day. The first hunt I didn't see anything. We got down there late and didn't see any. Then the second hunt was hunting in the same spot that this video today is about, and I saw a little basket rack 7. I'll throw a video up in just a second with that, and it was like a little small 7 or 6 or 7. I couldn't really tell for sure what size it was. That's why I didn't really shoot it, and I'm waiting for a bigger buck. So after that, some time goes by, and I put out some corn and deer feed, or corn and a trail camera that weekend. And then the next weekend we go down, and we are checking. I checked the trail cameras and got the little game checker thing out. Look at the pictures, and I see the pictures of, so after I saw that little basket rack 7 that night, the next morning I see this buck that's pretty mature, and I would have shot it, but I could not get a shot because I was sitting there in the stand one morning and it was freezing, so I had my hands all in my pockets and everything, and all of a sudden I hear this deer trot through the woods. So I go to put on my gun, but it was too quick and everything happened so fast that I was not able to get a shot off on him. So all that time goes by and everything, and it's the next weekend, and the Friday night I'm hunting in the stand, and I hear something behind me to my right, and I could tell it was a deer. So I look over, and it is a little spike, which I thought was a doe. I was gonna shoot. If it was a doe, I was gonna shoot it. So it's a little spike, and really, push it up here. So I gained a dog. So I see this spike, right, and I'm trying to get it on video and everything, and I get it on video. I watch it. And he's moving slower through the woods. He's just really minding his own business. He gets super close to me. I actually got a picture on my phone that I'll throw up there in a minute of him literally like 4 yards from my stand, the base of my stand, or the base of my tree that I'm on. So I'm sitting there filming him and everything, and then he goes by, and I start hearing this rustling in the woods. So come to find out, it is a buck chasing 2 does late in the November. I can't remember the date of that night, and it's late in November, and it's already past what normally is the rut. It's the weekend after the rut normally, so I'm not expecting to see any deer be chasing. So all of a sudden I hear this deer come trotting through the woods, and it's dark by now, or almost dark, and I see these 2 does standing there in the woods, and I couldn't figure out what was happening. And all of a sudden these does start running off, and here comes this buck trotting through the woods. And all I can see is one side, and he's got this, it's really weird. It's almost like it should be a 10-pointer, but he's missing his G3. He only has a G2 and a G3. That's all he's got. But the G3 is about this far from his G2. So I'm like, well, I don't know if I need to shoot this thing. It doesn't look that big because all I saw was one side. Which either way, going back and looking at the footage, or not looking at the footage, but looking at where I was sitting and everything in the situation, I could not get a shot off. So that goes by. That's that evening. The next morning, so let me just set the scene real quick for this deer hunt this morning. It's a crisp morning. It's really cold, and it is November the 30th. So I mean, most of the time I've been hunting in Meriwether since I was 3 years old, and that's all I can remember. And most of the time the ruts from the 8th to the 12th, whatever the weekend is when we go down there. So that's usually your prime time for hunting. So it's a it's November 30th, which we're not used to seeing deer that late. We've seen bucks, we've seen deer chasing, and it's the next morning. So this morning, the November 30th, I look over, I hear something, I look over. This is at like 7:15 or a little, well, this is actually after. This is probably like, yeah, probably 7:15. So 7:15 rolls around, I look over and hear something on my right, and I look and it's this spike. And when I say spike, I'm talking about two spikes coming out his head that's about this tall on both sides. And it curves in. So I look over and I see this deer and I'm like, holy crap, this thing's big. Then I realize it's just a spike. So then I'm like, okay. And then it spooks off before I can get the cameras out and everything. And then, so that's at 7:15. And then it's 8:20, I think. At 8:12 a.m. or around, no, actually, let me take that back. Around 8:05, I'm sitting there on my phone. I can't remember what I was. I think I was sitting to or something. I don't know. So I'm sitting there on my phone and I hear this tree moving. And I'm like, well, that's weird. I wonder if it's the wind, because the wind was blowing a little bit that way. And it was chilly. So I look over and I see this tree flapping around in the trees. And I'm like, what the crap? So I look in my scope, and come to find out, it looks just like a deer making a rub on a tree. So I'm like, well, that's right where every deer that I've seen been coming in and out of. So I'm sure that's just a buck making a rub. I had no clue how big, how small, what size, if it was even a spike, if it was even legal, what it was. So then I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden a doe pops out. And then I'm waiting on this deer, and I'm like, well, where's it gonna come out at? And that's when this video rolls up. Matt. Okay, so in this video, like you see right now, is there's a doe walking out. The doe walks out, stops, and starts looking around in brush that I cannot see. So I'm trying to get my gun on wherever this buck's gonna come out, which I have no clue at this point. And all of a sudden I see a deer walking through the woods, that's through the briars, and then I stop. And at this point, there's still the doe in the brush. So then the doe trots off, which y'all can see in the video. But me trying to get my camera on everything, get my gun on everything, and watch it all at the same time, I thought it was the buck trotting off. Because I've already looked in the scope at this point and see the buck, and I'm like, okay, this is a good buck, I'm gonna shoot it. So I'm looking over at my camera, about ready to put it on the buck, and I hear something trot off. And I'm like, oh crap, I need to blow. Or I need to make a grunt noise with my mouth. So after I do the grunt noise with my mouth, I look over, and apparently it wasn't the buck that trotted off, it was the doe. So I look over, and this buck is sitting there looking straight up at me. So my camera is where this doe was, and my gun's in my hands, and this buck's looking at me. This is a good buck. So in about a half a second, I have to decide, am I shooting this, am I not, am I going to try to put the camera on it, or am I just going to give it a full send? So, yeah. So then I just jump my gun on it and shoot, obviously. And this deer doesn't act very normal when you shoot a deer. This deer is quartering a little bit towards me, what I thought was quartering a little bit towards me. And when I shoot, it just kind of walks off, as you can hear in the video. And it's kind of different, and watching it didn't really act hit. It didn't jump, it didn't do anything, it just walked off. So I'm not real 100% sure about my shot. I text my dad, they're hunting right next to me. I said, I just shot a good one, but I'm not 100% sure about the shot because it didn't feel right. When I shot, it felt good, but the way it acted did not. So we waited about 30 minutes we waited about 45 minutes to get down, an hour when we start tracking it. And alright guys, so we got down from the stand, and didn't know how good it was going to be when we first got down there because there was a bunch of white hair. And when I first shot him, he didn't seem to move like most of them do when you hit them good. But the only reason I knew he was coming was because there was a tree moving everywhere. So I looked over there in my scope, and I could tell it was a deer. I didn't know how big though. And then a doe came out, and last night I seen one that was chasing the doe. It was pretty decent, but not this symmetrical or whatever. So I didn't know if I should shoot him or not. And then Anna didn't have another shot, or he didn't have a shot. So he came out, and I didn't end up giving him video when I shot because just timing or whatever, it was so fast. And then the doe ran off, and I tried to yell at it to stop it because I thought it was him, but it ended up not being him. But as soon as I yelled at her, he looked straight up at me, so I knew I had to take the shot. And shot him right behind the shoulder, pretty good though, but he was quartering towards me, and it took him a minute to start bleeding, and I'm colorblind, so I can't see blood anyway. So then my brother and my dad found it pretty good, and then they started bleeding real good, and then he wasn't laying very far, probably only about 70 yards from where I actually first shot him at. So we're gonna pull him out the woods and try to go find the tree that he rubbed right before I shot him. Yeah. So when we get down, I did not get the camera out because I was kind of bummed. We walked up to the area where I shot, and all you see is white hair. And I'm colorblind, so I can't see any blood. And unless you point it out to me, so I'm no good at tracking. So we're sitting there, I'm looking at all this white hair, I'm like, oh crap, I probably hit it low, thinking about all the shots, thinking about the shot in my head over and over and over again. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh crap, did I lose this deer? So we start walking the trail, my brother and my dad start looking, and my brother finds blood, and they start finding more blood, and more blood, and more blood, and more blood. And it keeps on going to the point where I can see blood, and when I can see blood, it's about to die. I sent a picture to my friend, and I told him that I already shot at one, but I didn't know how good it was, and I sent him a picture of the blood laying on the ground. I'll throw that up there. Just a second. And I throw the picture up, and he's like, "You're about to find that thing." And I look up from my phone, and they said, "There it is," and he points at it, and it's laying right there within 70 yards from where I shot it. This right here is the rub that I saw him make. He made this whole entire rub, and this tree isn't, I mean, it's not huge by no means, but it ain't small at the same time. He made this rub within like 30 seconds, which is amazing to me, that a deer can make that kind of like scrape or rub within 30 seconds. It's just crazy that like they have enough force and everything to do that quick. So after the hunt and everything, we go and get the rub and all that, and then we clean them out, and that pretty much concludes the video. Hope y'all like it, and please subscribe, turn on post notifications, and whenever you kill a deer or get to go out and hang out with your family in the deer woods, or get to go and look at God's creation, always thank Him for what He's given you, and we're blessed to be able to do that for the ones that are most fortunate enough to be able to. So like I said, thank you for watching my video once again, and please turn on post notifications, subscribe, and comment, and let me know how you like this video or what you thought about my deer, and try to guess the score on the deer. If I haven't already told you and you guess it, then I will give you a shout out in the next video, and yeah, that should be pretty soon. I gotta do the green bay giveaway pretty soon. So, and once again, shout out to Ducks Waterfowl. They got some good stuff. And then this Skeeter Branch hat I'm wearing right here. It's not a plug, but it's a nice hat. Fits good. And y'all need to go check them out at Skeeter Branch. I'll leave the link in the description. And another thing is go check out Arky Mallard calls. That's the mallard calls that I used in that duck hunting video at Skeeter Branch. And yeah, I think that pretty much is it for the video. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you already stayed this long. And thank y'all for 115 subscribers. And I'm getting like 2,200 watch minutes a month, which is amazing, because I have never got that much. I'm getting about 1,000 views a month, so that's amazing. So keep up the good work, and I'll see y'all guys in the next episode.